Welcome everyone, we are the Grin brothers, and we're possibly at the Sly Raccoon finale here. Because we're once again doing a completely different gameplay style, because that's clearly what you want to end your things on. Yeah, that's
Sly Cooper, you have escaped my gas chamber.
He doesn't even get his own face icon.
Remarkable. You Coopers always find a way to beat me.
Always? So that was you in the background of all those old pictures in the Thievius Raccoonus. How old are you?
Perfection.
He's a robot owl! I'm as old as the cameras used to take those pictures. Which is incredible given sometimes those are caveman areas, so I don't think a robot owl needs a fountain of youth.
He's literally kept himself young by pure hatred. That's what I strive to do.
That also happened in the original DuckTales. I have been alive for 300 years! How? By pure will! Okay.
So, I mean,
speaking of DuckTales,
the real question is, how does this guy, how is he a thief?
Yeah, you wouldn't think he'd be that stealthy.
How does he steal anything? His talents have guns.
Yeah, but speaking of DuckTales, the new series is getting everyone depressed.
Ah, why is it getting people depressed?
Because they revealed well, basically the big argument moment that's typical of the sort of series, of, you know, end of season sort of thing.
Tell me there's more than just that.
The end.
Nice shooting, Sly! You got him! Wow, that's one tough owl.
I don't get it.
He
You're so
dipped in
familiar with
lava!
my family. You must have known my father had a son. If you hated the Coopers so much, why did you let me live when you stole the Thievius?
Why did you not kill me?
I wanted to show the world that without your precious book, the Cooper line was nothing.
Ah, well, there's where you're wrong. The Thievius Raccoonus doesn't create great thieves. It takes great thieves to create the Thievius Raccoonus.
Enough, Sly Cooper.
I mean,
Yeah, you kind of have to have the skills to put it in, but then again, your father's dead, so he wasn't that good.
yeah,
Erased, and the only master thief will be clockwork.
I don't think you're a thief.
Yeah, I think
My point still
you're
stands.
getting murderer and thief mixed up.
Okay.
And wow, it's just become Toho Project. Also, this is seriously how they're ending the final fight on. Not any of Sly's actual skill sets, just jetpack laser gun.
Yeah, I mean, this at least controls better than...
The other part, yeah. But it's also kind of... I don't see why you'd make the finale something that doesn't incorporate any of your regular gameplay.
Intellect is refined.
Yeah.
My experience is greater.
I mean, to be fair, he is a thief, so... I mean, really, the ending should be you just steal from him.
Like, thief.
You pickpocket him.
There was a whole game
You
about
pickpocket
this.
Clockwork. Which is
people-
impressive, because you first had to put trousers on Clockwork so he had pockets.
Like, there was a whole series about...
Yeah, called Thief.
Yeah. And it was great until they made it not about being a thief.
Yep, because it needed to be modern.
And everyone hated it. It's garbage, trashy, and basically the same thing.
I think the original Thief 2 was, Yachty often says it's his favourite game.
And you're dead again. Into the lava. Again, the second time. Are you dead
Third
for
for
real?
Third for me?
Chance, Sly!
Ah!
You've got to get to his head and destroy it before his...
Murder him! Tear off his head! Jeez, Bentley, you've got problems. Do you want to talk about them?
7.
Okay. I gravitated into that.
Yeah, when you went to use the circle. Like, oh!
Oh my god.
Oh,
Are you
that's-
kidding me?
No, it's a challenge at least.
No, it isn't.
Well, yeah, no, this is easy as heck. So really, it's just dragging it out. Let's see.
I mean, this is fun. It's more fun than...
Yeah, than the Murray mission and such.
At least they decided to let you platform at the very end.
Yeah.
But-
They saved it. They salvaged it.
And this is the
And-
first
and this-
game, so it's allowed
Yeah.
to have its flaws. We're playing as fully grown adults instead of children.
Yeah, it seems to be a part of everyone's childhood but ours.
Yeah, and we passionately hate most things. So.
I've enjoyed it. Although
I've enjoyed it, yeah.
Although that lava section was just bull.
I mean, at least it was platforming.
Yeah, at least it was platforming. If they're throwing a few too many things at this end part which haven't been well established beforehand. Yeah, it's like this is like the end where they decide to come up with new ideas. But it's
Yeah.
not. The ending part should be the refinement of all the ideas you've had.
Yeah.
It should
But
be
a lot of games can do dumb stuff like this.
Yeah, it's not an uncommon problem. So let's see, something to talk about.
I'm shooting a giant robot out of death.
Let's see, talking about the She-Ra reboot might be somewhat controversial.
What?
The She-Ra reboot. They're doing a She-Ra reboot on Netflix, and people have started complaining about it, and then people started complaining about the people complaining about it.
So, comment.
So, of course, the thing is, it was shown off, and I got to admit straight away,
Looks
the
horrible.
whole thing, it doesn't look bad, but as a reboot, it looks exactly like you'd expect it being remade by a Tumblr artist.
Okay.
The characters are younger. The once ginger-haired, mustachioed character is now black man.
They've got the. Do they have nose blush?
She-Ra has. She-Ra. Despite some images look better, but unfortunately, I think it's kind of the problem. The first image of She-Ra made her look very boyish, very broad shoulders, very. As someone pointed out, you could literally take Ben 10's face and sort of plaster over it, and it wouldn't look any different.
Okay. That was
The layer images looked a lot better, but the first image they had shown off was like the worst picture they could have gone with. But very because you know what She-Ra looked like before, kind of a parallel to He-Man, being quite clearly masculine. She-Ra was quite clearly feminine in her design, but it's much more neutered down.
Well,
Catra is like they took the name Catra and thought she must be cat. No, she didn't look anything like a cat actually. But her name's Catra. Yeah, but that was just her name. Like Catherine.
yeah.
She must be cat-like. So she kind of looks like she looks cool, but she also kind of looks like in this reboot every stereotypical anime cat girl.
Yeah.
I mean, not too moe at least, but and another one of the sort of really sort of pretty sort of characters in because again He-Man was very idealised with its design, is now a fairly chubby sort of character. Again, it looks like everything's designed by a Tumblr artist. Not bad art per se, but of course that's the problem when you take an established idea and change it up. You get this problem of how much faithful do you have to be to the original, and how faithful and how much more creative can you be.
Yeah, we live in a day and age where people don't just make their own stuff.
Yeah, it's like because the thing is, that's why I mentioned to you before about the Buffy reboot thing. A lot of the people who are defending the She-Ra reboot stuff are complaining that Buffy's being changed to be a black woman, for instance. That's not my Buffy sort of thing, and it's a matter of it's because those people grew up with Buffy.
Yeah.
Whereas they didn't grow up with She-Ra, so they see it perfectly okay changing She-Ra, but not okay to change Buffy.
Yeah.
I can understand defending the She-Ra reboot, because again it could be a very good show. Just because the design of Tumblr doesn't mean it'll be bad.
Yeah.
Apparently it's got the people who did the animation for the Voltron reboot working on it, so there is a lot of good potential there.
So they'll receive blackmail and death threats if they don't let someone go.
Which do you think is worse, the Steven Universe fandom or the Voltron fandom?
Steven Universe. They literally drove someone to kill themselves.
From what I hear, the person did survive. The person survived the attempt. But apparently the
I'm pretty sure the Steven Universe artist died.
No, apparently they survived their attempt at suicide, but the fandom then still demanded they get an apology from the person who they drove to attempt suicide. It's a terrible situation regardless, basically. But,
Oh, this is violent.
But one criticism which is kind of funny is that they were criticising saying it's only men who are complaining about this because She-Ra's no longer sexy or anything. The first video I found criticising it was a YouTube channel called Clownfish TV, where the woman was the one who was absolutely livid with it because she collects She-Ra figures and everything. She's got whole walls of She-Ra.
Amazing.
And she despised the reboot design.
Of course, there was no way I could have gotten here without the help of my pals. I know this hasn't been easy for them, yet they stuck with me through it all.
Yeah, what do they get for this?
It took a lot of guts for them to get out.
They stuck with me to get my revenge.
Got more heart than anyone I've ever known. Thankfully,
He managed
He's
to-
still a criminal. though.
Murray endured all of the driving, every driving section. Like, I would have died at that.
Are you we just going to glance over the fact that Bentley was looking at a picture of a human face?
Yeah, I was one of the people who worked
Looks
in
like
the
we're
game.
not going to be friends anymore. Now that Clockwork's death ray is out of commission, we're back to playing cops and robbers. I thought for sure she was...
Sly, you're under arrest for stealing for murder.
Yeah,
You should have brought him in.
did just violently.
I mean, he was a robot. They don't have lives.
just violently tore
And
his
that's
head
where
off.
Detroit to a Human began. See? The Sly was a prequel to
Fa-
Detroit.
Fairies caused the robot uprising.
2.
What's with this Mexican standoff?
1.
And now you're under arrest for sexual harassment.
Yeah.
And then she promptly died when the volcano erupted.
Yeah. Was that volcano about to erupt? I'm sure she'll get out of it. Well, all those comments of her being a hot Latino will suddenly be correct.
Also, why is it that
What?
why was the police officer on her own?
Yeah. She does have an ally in the next game.
Yeah, like shouldn't she have a whole unit with her?
You'd think.
Like police officers do. They
Gotta
have.
say, maybe it's because we've got the volume down, but even then, the end cutscene is very subdued.
Oh yeah. Chris Murphy, voice of Murray. Good job. Matt Olson, voice of Bentley. I'm gonna punch you. Also, why?
Only Miss Ruby is worth talking about after the main characters.
None of the others had.
So I guess the others were all probably voiced by
The same
game
people.
development stuff. Oh, be careful where you're pulling that. You almost pulled the what?
I did not almost pull it out there.
It wiggled.
Oh no!
And hey, the furries who work the game
And a
hot
hot
dogian.
Don't know what they would be classified as, and I don't want to
No,
know
I
what
guess-
they'd be classified as.
That just makes Food Fight even more disturbing than it already was. Not Food Fight. Well, no, Food Fight as well is even more disturbing than it already was.
Sausage Party.
Also, even more disturbing. It's worrying that I can say I'd rather sit and watch Food Fight than Sausage Pie.
Not really.
Actually, you know, really. It's like, why do you... Yeah, there's never been animation made for adults. No, there have been plenty. There have been plenty.
Oh yeah, I can find.
South Park exists!
I can find some animations for adults
There's never
real
been
easy. It's called hentai.
But yeah, I said I'd avoid talking about the She-Ra reboot controversy, and then I proceeded to talk about the She-Ra reboot controversy. But anyway, Sly Raccoon, what do you think of it?
It's good.
Yeah, it's decent.
It's
It's a...
dated.
I'd say, you know... Oh, I guess we got the bonus ending. Of course he's alive. You know, I guess... Maybe a 7 out of 10? 6 out of 10? Something like that. I think if I played it back in the day, I'd probably be thinking 7 or 8 out of 10 sort of thing.
But the Thievius Raccoonus isn't fully restored. You're gonna
Yeah,
have
there's
to
that
go
one
back and
page.
unlock all the vaults to find the pages you're missing. There is some good news though. A friend of mine in Japan just sent me this really cool movie. And guess what?
What?
It's all about us.
Okay.
いやー危なかったま、カルマリータちゃんには悪いけど今回も俺様たちも
Okay.
勝ちだこのデータファイルがあれば
I can't understand
Ah.
your weeb talk.
あれはまだ俺が子供の頃だよく父ちゃんの膝の上で
Is
遊
this
んでた
just the opening?
Hey Sly, watch this movie about your father being murdered.
It's just the opening, but in
I guess this must have been the Japanese
but in
opening.
weeb.
You know, again, like, you know, Ratchet, they had to give him thicker eyebrows. They had to make Crash Bandicoot more moe to sell to the Japanese. All that sort of good stuff.
Should we go get that last page?
Nah. It's like, you beat the final boss, it feels redundant at that point.
善人からは奪わない
You know?
But
I don't care too much for end of game bonus content.
alright.
Usually, like, there are some good ones, like Battle Frontier and such, but if it's not related to the story, I'm not too interested in it. Like, once the story ends, the others, it's kind of like, well, at that point, I want to play other games, because I'm already usually struggling to actually complete most games as it is. So rather than doing extra content that doesn't add story, I'd rather go and play these other games to experience their main story campaign.
I mean,
You
it'll
know?
take us like 2 minutes.
天才発明家頼れる相棒ベントレー
Do you really want to just get one pet? Fair enough. I mean, you're the one playing, aren't you?
まあ憎めない
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really bother me.
I mean, we have to sit through
俺様父ちゃん
We have
the
to-
Weeb show.
そ して秘伝書を取り返す
It is a pretty cool, although I really wish they had subtitles. Also, that's a very disturbing image. That's a very weird angle of Carmelita there.
俺様たちの運命はどっちだ
She looks
In
more.
fact, she looks more fox there than she does in game.
Yeah.
She looks more animal-like than the other characters. Bentley just doesn't respond to that. Just... That's what we watched.
Well, that's from Japan.
Oh wow.
That's Japanese,
I
alright.
would say that could have turned into a very different direction there. They said a movie about us! No! My secret past! Whatever do you mean? It's like, oh my gosh! This is how I managed to afford the van.
It's a good point. I just assumed they stole it, but you with your dirty mind.
Yeah, me with my dirty mind.
That's the wrong button.
If it's a game over. Like, if it's a game over, we'd just have to edit it there, wouldn't we?
Right, there we go. I feel complete.
You sadly could. I think about it, you could have probably actually rolled in the clockwork. You didn't want to risk it, though, did you?
Honestly, I didn't even think about it. I just assumed that it would have killed me.
But yeah, I think, you know, like, if I'd played this back in the day on the PS2, I'd probably be thinking, you know, 7 or 8 out of 10 sort of thing. Because, you know, I'd probably be more willing to overlook some of its issues because of, you know, the kind of issues that were very common for the gaming period.
Yeah.
And
But we're old and bitter now, so...
But now I'd say 6 out of 7, because I'm still a little bit... I'd say 7 of being lenient in the fact that it is a first game. It's filled with great ideas, and you kind of just get the sense that they're going to fix most of them in the sequel. But it's like, if we're judging it on its own merit, I guess I'd have to give it a 6 out of 10, because it's good ideas, but it's unpolished and it needs time to refine them, but that's for the sequel to do. The sequel can really go places, but obviously, if I'm looking at the game on its own, I'm ignoring what the sequel's going to do.
Yeah.
I
definitely
It is fun, though. It's fun and full of charm, though not quite as much charm as some of these others. Again, Cadicus' review was very correct in that Sly and his friends are kind of asses to one another. And that kind of takes away some of the charm. I mean, Sly himself isn't, you know... They're flawed. They're flawed, which in itself is nice, but they do... Their banter's a lot more... wouldn't go as far to say vindictive, but argumentative.
What?
Roll to your death there. She just straight up punched you.
Yeah, but that's worked every time I've done that before. Have you ever seen it fail me?
No, but I'm glad to see that it did.
I mean, are you? Because it just drags us out.
But, yeah, I really liked it, though. I'm kind of curious, though, as to why Sucker Punch went from working on the N64 to working on the PlayStation 2. Like, in that period of time, a lot of the developers were PlayStation focused because it was easier to develop for and they had a lot of support. But when it came to the PS2, whilst they had promotional support, the PS2 was apparently quite tricky to develop for. Whereas that if they'd already had their foot in the door with Nintendo and the GameCube, and the PS2, it didn't, obviously, its true takeoff of the DVD happened, wasn't, one for one immediately. I mean, the PS2 didn't have games for the good first period. I mean, heck, they basically, like, in Japan, it's funny reading the retro game, it's like, they're just begging for new games to come out.
Well.
Because there wasn't really much worth, getting a PS2 for, while still there were some final PlayStation games, which were, of course, high quality, because, towards the end. But, kind of curious as to why Sucker Punch went from, and particularly in that Sucker Punch is clearly inspired a lot by Nintendo, given when they went to make a series after Sly Cooper, they used Animal Crossing as an inspiration, and made Infamous.
Yeah. The most clearly inspired by Animal Crossing game ever. Alright, let's see if this was worth it. It's not going to be worth it.
No! 444!
This vault's combination has got to be 667.
Oh, okay, see, that one definitely had to be changed as well. Yeah, I know what you were going for.
And what do I get at 83% completion?
It's because we don't have all the time challenges. But
Yeah,
who
and
cares?
we're never going to get them.
This might actually make it easy to do so.
Colonel Reed Cooper's time stopper technique.
Ah,
Press
yeah.
the triangle button and execute a flashbang that will stun all guards in the world for a
In the world?
I can see how this might be useful and entertaining too.
Don't worry, I've got you. I won't let you fall stun. Ah!
In the entire world. That's right, you ready to see this flashbang? Oh.
At long last, the Thievius Raccoonus restored to its original state.
I'm about to say, what about the
First time I held
sequels?
the whole thing
How do you
under
learn
my
your
arm
techniques
since I
then?
was 8 years old. The same weight that all my ancestors had felt beneath their arms as they had passed it on.
The guy's just got a gun.
Other family members
He's not
were
even carrying the
great
cane.
thieves.
You're still
They
lacking
all
the gun.
inherited
Everyone else has the cane, he's just like, oh, I've got a gun.
I had taken down the Fiendish Five, having used the moves my ancestors
How did he put the
taught me
pages back
to
in?
become a master thief along the
Yeah,
way.
what new skill are you going to
Time
put in
had
it,
come
Sly?
for me
Actually, I'm
to
kind of
chronicle
curious.
my own adventures into the great book.
How to almost die, because you just want to get laid. Yeah, no, seriously.
Just broke in,
Serious question.
murdered a couple people.
What?
Sly the Cutthroat Raccoon. And now we have to go through the credits again. So, what did you think about Sly?
But serious question. How did you put the pages back in? They got ripped out. How did none of the pages get damaged? Because they clearly didn't. Put,
He's clearly a master book doctor.
like, did he use Pritt Stick? Super glue?
Again, Mr. Ruby, the only one for 4 seconds.
Or did he just rewrite the book in a different book?
Maybe.
Which I feel would have been far more practical at this point.
He finally did what
hey,
he wanted.
It's 1
getting
o'clock.
his book back.
It's gone 1 o'clock. That means the community day's over. Good night. The day's done. That hot dog scares me.
Yeah,
there you go. That was the true.
Good game. Hope you enjoyed watching us play through it all, HB. Given this was your request, it was certainly a much more fun request than our mum requesting us to play a game we both dislike, leading us to Mega Man 2. So, yeah.
I'm looking forward to playing sequels because it'll improve upon it. It definitely feels like the type of game that if I was a kid, when I played it, I'd been like super into it. But because I'm bitter,
Ratchet and Clank levels, or
probably. But because I'm bitter and old and filled with spite and hate,
we're just choking about Sly being a murderer the entire time and you wishing mentally dead.
yeah, like it definitely feels like a first title in a series game. You know, it definitely feels old.
It also feels like an early PS2 title as well.
Oh hey, look!
Yeah, as if we haven't been
Amazing
into that
plot
before.
twist. He's alive. Woo.
That should have been saved for when you did get the bonus thing there.
Yeah, probably.
They made that one frame
You
of
did
Mario
it,
and they really
Sly.
wanted to reuse
the
it.
Thievius Raccoonus is complete. Now, try beating all the Master Thief
No.
secrets to unlock the designer's commentary. Once you've unlocked them all, I've got a special behind-the-scenes movie to show you.
I don't want to see your behind the scenes movie, Bentley. Please never talk to me or my family again. Oh wait, my family are dead. Yeah,
But
again,
you have a book!
I don't know. I'm hoping the later games explain that Sly's mother didn't exist.
Yeah. That was the last page of the book, how to reproduce without on your own. And so I learned a way to give birth to a child by myself. So I just burns the book. This is why I'm going on. This is my new trick is how to hook up with a lady.
Oh, you guys are degenerates.
Oh god, now I'm just imagining the old Sonic, the dorkly old Sonic thing. Here comes Emperor Greg and he's a pregnant man. Okay, so yeah, that's what we should end this series on. That's what we should. Cheer everyone!
Bye.